Hey friends, Jill here. Welcome back to Whispering Willow Farm. I'm actually in my kitchen this morning, and if you guys can see what I got going on over here, I decided, look at all those bubbles. Oh yeah, yes. I decided this morning that I was going to make bagels. So my friend Ashley over at Uncommon Roots Homestead, it was totally her fault. I'm like getting on Instagram this morning, just scrolling, and I see these amazing bagels that she has made, these sourdough bagels. And she actually told me that it came from a cookbook that we actually both have. And it is, a sweet viewer sent this to me. It's Artisan Sourdough Made Simple. I actually really love this book. It has a lot of good recipes and they're just easy. The recipe I was following before was kind of like difficult, and so these I feel a little confident that I can kind of tweak them and I know what I'm doing. And so I'm actually about to start on some Sunday morning bagels, as she calls them in the book. I think I'm gonna do the everything bagel. You see those pictures? Nathan's gonna be so excited. Say hi.
Hey.
I'm telling them that I'm gonna make bagels for you, but really they're probably, this is what I do. Have you noticed? I'm gonna make this for you, but it's really like you're the excuse I give myself to make it for myself too. Yeah, you noticed. So I love really all things carbs, pastas, bread. It's kind of, but I also love sweet things too. I love all the things. But I could eat, when I make my sourdough, I eat most of it.
You do?
I do. I mean, I eat bread all the time, so these bagels.
And then she regrets it.
And then I regret it because I do have a little bit of a gluten allergy when I eat too much. But I'm going to make these bagels. I'm actually going to probably show you guys part of that process. However, this is not what this video is about. Nathan and I are going out of town on Thursday. Where are we going?
We are going to H.O.A.
We are going to Homesteaders of America. This will be the first time that, you want to go sit at the table where it's more comfortable?
I don't care, whatever you want.
Is that comfortable?
I'm fine.
Okay. So, sorry. So we are going to be leaving on Thursday. We have got our friends staying here and running the fort and taking care of all the animals and doing all the things here, making sure the gardens get watered, all the things. But this will be the first time we've ever gone.
We've wanted to go, what, the last 4 or 5 years?
We have, yeah.
Didn't have the...
We just couldn't make it work, really, for several reasons. Childcare is kind of difficult, and you know, and then you ask, do you take the kids, do you not take the kids, all the animals. So we just decided this year we could finally make it work.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Virginia?
Never.
Me neither. So this will be our first trip to Virginia together, our first trip to H.O.A. So that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to get to that in a second. But right now I've got to start on the first. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. You guys will hopefully be seeing this sometime on Monday. We currently have no internet at our house. Long story. So my goal is you guys will be watching this around noon, but who knows. But I want to show you guys kind of the first process of this as I'm kind of learning. I know many of you guys have asked about sourdough. I don't feel confident doing a video on making sourdough bagels because I've never done it before. But I thought maybe it'd be fun for them to do the first half, and since it's 3 o'clock, I gotta get on this process. I'm gonna be up until like 2 a.m. making bagels. So I will try to find this recipe online and link it below if it's available. If it's not available, I will link this actual cookbook. It's by Emily Rafa. Maybe I'm saying that right. She's also the author of the Clever Cookbook and the creator of the Clever Carrot. So I'll have to look at that. So I was telling Nathan, one thing that's different about bagels, and it could be the case with some of the other things you make with sourdough, I don't know. I'm still very much so in the learning phases of sourdough. But you actually you have to boil the dough before you bake it. So it's kind of like a 2-part process, which same as with the regular loaf. You have to create the loaf, and then it has to go through like the fermentation stage, which is usually what takes forever. So I try to make my loaf and then let it ferment overnight in the fridge. But this says it's easier than making sourdough bread.
Good, more bagels then.
One batch makes 8. I don't feel confident to double it, so that means you get 4, I get 4.
I get 2, she gets 6.
Maybe we'll let the kids have one apiece.
Maybe.
Okay, while I'm reading through this, because we are going to talk about H.O.A., why don't you kind of maybe talk about what you're excited about, like, going? We haven't done a whole lot of research as far as like speakers, so that is on our list today, is to see what speakers are going to be coming. But what are you most looking forward to about going to H.O.A?
Honestly, just getting a kid-free weekend. Not really. That is a plus.
Truth.
That is
True.
That is a plus. But no, actually, I mean, I know a couple of people that are speaking, and so you know, I'm anxious to see those guys. I'm anxious to see, you know, just all these people that you see, you know, on YouTube or on TV or whatever. I'm just anxious to see them.
Meet them in real life?
Yeah, meet them in real life. So.
Are you allowed to do that, or do they have booths where you, I guess, could meet them?
I don't know. I have no idea. This is
we should have
our
done
first
our
rodeo.
research.
Yeah, we're going to get on the website today and just figure out, you know, what this is going to look like.
We were going to fly, and then our flight got delayed, and so it was going to take an hour longer to drive versus if we flew, and then we'd still have to rent a rental car.
So we decided to drive.
Nathan decided to drive. He actually prefers to drive, so he wanted to drive from the get-go. But before we had the like delay, it was only going to take us like 7 hours to get there.
It wasn't even going to take that long.
Yeah.
And then they kept rerouting our flight, and
it's going to be like 12 and a half hours, 13 hours to fly there.
Right. So we're leaving super early in the morning, and then we were going to get there early afternoon. Originally, and now we're not going to get there until like 6 or 7 at night, and it just wasn't worth it. So I'd rather have my own vehicle. That way we can skedaddle if we want, go explore caves, go to, you know, monuments.
Caves?
Yeah, they've got caves. They've got all kinds of stuff in Virginia.
Cool.
So
I'm going to need you guys to tell me where all the best coffee shops are. That's my love language, bagels.
Coffee shops. We're bringing the coffee shop with us. So
gonna take our espresso machine.
We have got a cabin in the middle of nowhere, so there's not going to be any coffee shops around. So that's why we're bringing our coffee maker.
All right. So real quick, just love how I'm like walking y'all through, but I'm not actually telling you. I really am sorry. Our pastor always says this phrase, and this has so felt like me the last few days. He'll say, follow the bouncing ball. And I feel like I have quoted that more in the last few days. We have just been so busy. We spent this past weekend in Northwest Arkansas. I spoke at a conference. It went really good, but I'm out of my routine, you guys. So follow the bouncing ball. I just added my starter in here, and now I'm about to add my sugar. This will be the first time too I've ever mixed sugar in my breads. So that'll be interesting. Added 2 extra grams.
Yeah, big one or little one?
Probably big one.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Sourdough.
We are live. Such a good whisker.
Alright, so I'm whisking the sugar, the water, and the starter. Grams of
I
salt.
guess I should have done that since Mommy was probably teaching little ones how to survive.
Alright, so now is my favorite part. I'm going to take it off the scale. That is one thing you do need whenever you're making sourdough is a scale. This isn't actually like a kitchen scale. It has a bowl to it. I always used it when I was like measuring out herbs when I did herbal tea. They make a lot better kitchen skills. But now I get to just mix it by hand, which is my favorite part.
Little action shot here.
It did recommend using a like a mixer, a stand mixer. I don't actually have one of those, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't use it. I prefer, this is my favorite part about making sourdough, is getting your hands dirty.
Doing good, babe.
Letting those muscles grow.
You said you can't get muscles in the kitchen. I got lots of table muscle.
All right, so now that I have kneaded that, I stuck a damp towel on it. I'm gonna push it back in the corner, and then I set an alarm on my phone for 45 minutes. So I needed to get that first step done. Now Nathan and I are gonna come in here and talk to you guys about H.O.A. All right, so now that I have that doing its first process, which we just wait. I don't know what the next step is. I'll find out. I'll find out when I get there.
Just read a little further.
Yeah, no. Why? Then that'll get me all anxious. I'll just wait and I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Oh, goodness.
So, the reason we were putting this video out on a Monday, again, content's gonna be a little different this week since we are driving out on Thursday. I'm gonna try to get as many videos up the beginning of this week as I can. But this week we're also trying to figure out like things to do. What is like the highlights of H.O.A? I feel like there's so many things that you can see and do within H.O.A.
Yeah.
Like we want the highlighted versions of like, hey, you gotta go see this person or this, or if you know about like surrounding towns, fun things. Like I'm not sure that we'll probably go both days, but I don't know that we'll spend all of our time there from like the time they open to the time they close, because we've never been to Virginia. We'd like to like explore some.
Oh,
so we want y'all's recommendations.
Yeah, if any of you guys have been and know some neat things, things you got to see, I'd love to hear about it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably going to get online and just look. I mean, I know they've got caves. I know they've got zip line things. They've got all kinds of
I'm
cool
afraid
stuff.
of heights. I don't know that I could zip line. I mean, I would do it. I would do it if you wanted to do it.
That'd be fun.
I would do it if you wanted
Just
to do
saying.
it. We are both major foodies, which you guys probably know. Yeah. So food.
We would go somewhere just for a particular restaurant.
Right. And we are used to traveling too, right? So like just because of where we've lived and even now, like it's really not a big deal to drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to like get good food or even good coffee in my opinion. So if it's a surrounding little town or city outside of H.O.A, we'd be cool with that too. Yeah. We are open to suggestions. I just know that I've got a lot of things on my books for this week. Nathan has to work, and so trying to figure out the time where we can sit down and just look into this and research. We're gonna try to do it, but I just don't know like how much time I'm gonna have to spend on it. Obviously the 14 hours when I'm in the car, I'm sure I could think of some cool things, but there's no better way to learn a local culture than to ask the locals. And so there may be some of you guys who are in Virginia that like this is what y'all are known for, and I just feel like it's like one of my favorite things. I wish every town we went to we could meet with someone that lived there, because they just know the area better and you see it from a totally different perspective. They always have those like hidden gems that I think are just so magnificent, and I really just want to leave feeling like I found that golden nugget, like oh, that was so worth it, you know?
Yep. I love some mom and pop restaurants, and nobody knows better than a local. So
yeah, maybe bagel shop, or can y'all tell?
She's on the bagel train right now.
I'm hungry.
Dinner will be ready shortly.
So we are really excited about going to H.O.A, hearing the different speakers. We will be there. I kind of wanted to not have to go and shoot content. I wanted to go and just really meet people and
take
just
it all in.
Yeah, really feel the experience. Whenever you are a vlogger, and some of you guys may be vloggers, so you may know this, you tell a story, right? And so every time I turn that camera on, I'm telling you guys a story, and whether that's just like what I'm doing for the day, whether I'm trying to teach you or what. But if I just were to turn on the camera and I didn't really have a direction of what I was doing, it would just be a bunch of random clips. And it is, but I kind of have a story in my head that I'm telling you guys as we're hanging out. And so I knew that that would be really hard at H.O.A. to get a good story, because I'm sure I was going to be pulled in a few different directions. I knew that I wanted to have gone and felt like, whoa, that was a really cool experience. And I just didn't feel like I could do that to its capacity if I was in that vlogger mode and like trying to make sure I had a story to tell. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Well, I just
follow the bouncing ball.
This is but only 1 cup of coffee. We got in really late, you guys. I don't like public speaking, and that might be a shock to some of you guys. And so when I spoke at this expo this weekend, I was not well. My friend Melanie went with me, and thank goodness Melanie is the sweetest soul that has ever walked the earth, and she was just so encouraging. She kept trying to make me laugh. She was giving me all these words of affirmation, but I did it. Anyways, I was very like just tense, you know what I mean? And so today I have just been really tired, and I feel like just because like my body was so tense, like leading up until speaking, the whole time I was speaking, then we had to, you know, like drive home. And so
in the rain,
I'm trying to make excuses for why I'm a space cadet, but that's the best I got.
Guys, she did really well. She did well.
Thank you.
She's not giving herself enough credit. I could tell she was nervous, but she did really well. So.
Well, and what I kept telling myself is I do want to do this, right? Like I find value in talking about this, and I was speaking on the importance of gardening, and that's something obviously I love to talk about. But it was just, that's not the setting I'm used to. I'm used to teaching you guys and talking to you guys out of the comfort of my own home. And so going somewhere else that I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with a bunch of people I didn't know, it was just not what I was used to. But that was exactly what I needed to do, because I do want to continue to do that. And I know the only way to get better at it is just to rip the Band-Aid off. And so... Which is what happened. And believe it or not, Nathan somewhat struggles with this aspect. But Nathan turns into a beautiful butterfly when you get him in front of people that he doesn't know. You do. And so that just like comes natural to him. He doesn't get nervous. He doesn't get anxious. Like you shine.
I'm used to speaking to crowds or in public. I mean, as part of my job, where when I look at that camera lens is when I just like.
Who that guy I'm talking to?
Yeah. Talking to a blunt object.
Hashtag life of vloggers. You guys are getting the real special edition episode today, so bear with us. But we do want to hear your guys' feedback. We cannot wait to meet you guys if you are going to H.O.A. We don't have nailed down when we'll, like what times we'll be there per se. We will be there on both days, probably in and out quite a bit if I had to guess. So we would love to see you. If you see us, stop us, say hi, introduce yourself. We are really looking forward to it. This is one of those things that really kind of brings it together about why we do it. It's more than just our community. It's you guys as a whole, like the whole YouTube, homesteading, farming, gardening community. And really, we don't get a lot of opportunities to meet you guys outside of the ones that live local to us. And so I know that, you know, some people, when you leave an event, you either feel really like hyped up or you're like, whoa, I'm tired. And for me, I feed off of that. I feed off of seeing all these people from different walks of life, different goals and aspirations, and on different levels of this journey. That gets me so excited because I know there's a lot of people doing their one part.
That's right.
And I get like super encouraged. I get really hyped up off of their energy, gives me a lot of energy, and we just don't get to do it that often. And so I am just really hopeful that this is going to be an amazing trip to meet a lot of people, to learn a lot of new things that we don't know, reconnect with some faces we've not seen in a while. So leave your recommendations down below. Nathan will be looking at all of those, jotting them down, and we hope to see you guys soon.
Also, let us know if you're going to be there. So.
Yeah, let us know if you're going to be there. That's great. Well, that's all I got. What about you?
That's all I got.
Okay, I got some bagels to make. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you soon.